So we'll start with the structure of it. So what a structure a store procedure has. So you can talk about that. So generally, you it's an object, right? So it would have its own the name. So you need to have the procedure name, and then you can provide parameters to pass value from applications or other processes when calling up the procedure. So you need a parameter section. Then you start the transaction, then you end the transaction. So within this you have the declare section and then the procedure body. So declare section will have the variables that would be used within the stored procedure, and then you got the procedure body which is here, so which will contain the logic and then the SQL statements and all. This is, if you look at from outside, you can simply understand this. This is for layman terms. I mean, if you look at if you go further inside, you can see that procedure name you can provide, and parameters can have input parameters and output parameters. Input parameters are the parameters for parameters for which you pass a value, and then here is their data type. Our out parameter name is the parameter that would send you the values from the store procedure to the application, wherever you want, whatever you use. So that's a parameter name. And you got begin. So the declaration part can have variable or cursor declaration. After that, you can have value assignment to those variables, then the logic, and then the SQL statements. So we'll move to the next. So how do you write it? The first part is create statement. So create or replace procedure name. So there are certain vendors who would only support create procedure statement. So in those cases, you need to have a drop procedure name, and then you have to, let's say you are making some changes to already existing procedure. Now you would like to drop it and then recreate the new version of it. So you gotta basically drop the stored procedure and create it again. And there are certain vendors who would support the replace stored procedure, which means it automatically checks for the procedure in the database, and if it finds it, drops it and then creates it. Otherwise it just creates it. So replace procedure name it's really good. And create statement consists of this. So this is what we want to know about the create statement. And then you have it for parameter, output parameter, the data type, and then value you can provide a default value, just like you provide default value in a table column, right? So we'll go to the next. So the next has the variable declaration or assignment. So basically you can declare a variable, this pattern, declare the variable name and then the data type. Okay, and then each variable could be assigned with some value, just like here with a set operator. And some vendors might use select value into the variable name. So that type of assignment you can also follow. Next we see the procedure body. The procedure body would eventually have the while statements for looping through each and every time with a condition, and you got a if condition, if statement to basically check for the do some conditioning stuff, logical stuff. Then you can have the insert statement, update statement, delete statement, and select statement, however you want. So here we have got the while loop, where we check whether the variable is not equal to value, particular value. If that is the case, you check whether the variable 1 is equal to that value. If so, then you insert into a table, and after that you just select the variable 1 comma variable 2. Then you got a if statement, you update the table, else finally you can delete the values from the table. Finally, you just close up the env, look at the select star from table, look at some of the sample ASP from different vendors. Let's talk about that. Okay, I'm just gonna open some of the sample store procedures. We could go over there, how they are written and all. So right, so the Sybase store procedures, here we got 5 parameters. So in Sybase, this is how the parameter is defined. You have the parameter name, and then the data type like varchar, money, integer, and you can also define the default value. You need to have as after the create procedure statement. You need to have as create procedure as, then you begin. Okay, so this begin will have an end at the end of the store procedure here. Okay, so it's entirely considers one transaction. It's a block, you can say. So within the every store procedure will have this block, the big block, and then within the block you have the declaring statements. Okay, and then you can use some functions inside the store procedure. Okay, so you declare something, and then you use select statement to assign some values to the variable. So this is how it is, the assignment happens in the Sybase side. Okay, and notably the Sybase store procedure doesn't have any delimiter as such. Okay, so you don't need any kind of semicolon. In certain vendors will need it, but then so Sybase doesn't need it. Now what we do, so here they check if quantity is null, then they try to assign quantity is equal to 0, and if record is null, then you assign some value to the record. And so this is conditional statements you can have. After that, what you do is to insert some values into the table inventory, which is, so I mean variables are assigned with some values, so all these values are inserted into the inventory table. So once you insert, you start selecting. So this select, right, so this one would actually return the values to the application, calling application or processes or other procedures. So this is the one of these ways in Sybase to actually get values from the inside of the store procedure. In certain vendors it won't work this way. You may have to declare some cursor to return values from the store procedure. So this is a simple Sybase code. We could go on and talk about this one more time. So the Sybase store procedure has a create procedure, so it doesn't have a replace keyword used in it, and you got the procedure name here, and then the variable type, parameters, and then values. Then it needs to have this as word, and then it starts to begin, and the begin will have its own end here, so it's whole.block. Okay, you declare some variables, assign some values using select word, which is quite important here. Then you check whether it's null, then again you assign some values, use insert statements. Importantly, it doesn't have any delimiter to separate one line to the another. And then we do some insert, and then select the help from the Sybase side of it, and we could look at the next one.